Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the McFarlane Batman 1966 classic TV series Batgirl. I ordered this figure from Figurine for All. It's a Canadian website, but my total, even after shipping and taxes, was a little bit less than I would have paid at retail at Target. Now this is Batgirl, but it's not Batgirl from the classic TV series. It's Batgirl from the comic series, based off the classic TV series. At one point, I had read that McFarlane tried to acquire the likeness rights of Yvonne Craig, who played Batgirl on the TV show, and whoever owns her likeness, the estate, was either unwilling to sell to McFarlane, or they wanted too much money. McFarlane said it's a firm no on getting Batgirl, but those clever dogs there, they decided to release Batgirl based off the comic, not the TV show, which looks exactly the same, but does not require the likeness of Yvonne Craig. And you know what? They tried to do it the right way first, but it didn't work out. And here's a nice plan B. They simply couldn't make an unmasked version that looked like Yvonne Craig, but this is a close second. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, DC, McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus, Batman, 66. This is the logo from the comic, not the TV show. Here she is in the package, Batarang, some bat cuffs, and then Batgirl. On the back side here, Batman 66, Batgirl, bunch of characters from the comics. And here's Batgirl's barcode, in case that helps anybody. It looks like the 1966 figures are no longer Target exclusives. They're available at the McFarlane Toy Store. They're available at some different online retailers. And even at Amazon. Pretty cool. Line must be doing well to have expanded past Target. So with no further ado, let's open her up. And of course, I did get two of these figures. One of which to open and enjoy, and the other one to keep unopened in my complete Batman-related unopened action figure collection. And she was part of the entire wave that I got from FigurineForAll.com. We have Batman and Robin with their rebreathers, and then Batgirl. Alright, now that we get this figure out of the package, here she is with all of her accessories laid out. We have some bat cuffs and a Batarang. Personally, I'm glad they replaced the action bubble effects. Yeah, those things are kinda cool, and very fitting for the TV show. But I'm really not going to use them very much. I would much prefer traditional accessories like these. So this is Batgirl from the 1966 comic, which is a spin-off of the TV show. They don't have the rights to Yvonne Craig, but this is the second best thing. So let's take a look. Starting with her face here. Smiling face. A little bit cheesy. Got the black on the front of the cowl, purple on the back, black ears, red hair sticking out the back. Yellow cloth soft goods cape. Feels better than some of the previous capes. I think they've made an improvement here. Bat symbol on the chest. Pearl output. Blue gloves. Single jointed elbows. Single jointed knees. Looks like the Batman utility belt. Bunch of pouches. Bat symbol on the front. Very basic articulation, but it's a retro basic line. And just a closer look at her face and head sculpt. I mean, it kind of looks like Yvonne Craig, just because it's in that Batgirl outfit, but the chin doesn't really look like her, and it's not supposed to. But it does look like Batgirl from the TV show, just not Yvonne Craig, so McFarlane succeeded at the task. Very smiling, happy-go-lucky type face. Now for her accessories. Let's start with the Batarang. Batarang here almost looks kind of like a dart. Purple, looks good for what it is. Then we have his bat cuffs. The bat cuffs are made of a hard plastic. I wish it was rubbery, so you kind of stretch this around their hands. The chain links are actually purple. That part looks kind of dumb. I'd be curious to see what this actually looked like in the TV show. Here's Batgirl holding and getting ready to throw her Batarang, and here, holding her bat cuffs. So I tried to put the handcuffs on both Egghead and the Riddler. Their hands are pretty normal size, and they would not fit over the fists or the open hands. So these handcuffs are essentially useless as an actual accessory. They don't actually function or work. And I was curious if Batgirl shared any parts with Catwoman. There are a lot of parts on Batgirl that I thought looked really familiar, but it does appear to be a brand new sculpt, which is surprising, because it looks like a lot of this could be reused, but I don't think any of it actually is. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and her accessories, now let's check out her height. From bottom to the top of her head, she's standing at about 5.75 inches tall, which can translate to about 14.5 centimeters. Now, it's a 6-inch scale figure. The fact that she's 5.75 inches tall tells me that Yvonne Craig, or Batgirl, is supposed to be less than 6 feet tall, which is probably about right. Now for articulation. I'll start with her head here. Of course, you're going to rotate side to side. The hair gets completely over the shoulders. Shoulders are on a ball joint. Goes out a little bit less than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. Single jointed elbow goes in 90 degrees with rotation. Her wrist, simple rotation. Traditional waist swivel below that. Old school style hips go forward, back, about that much. Single jointed knee goes back a little bit more than 90 degrees with rotation. And that is about it in the articulation department. Here's a look at Batgirl in the Batcave, leaning on the Batmobile. And a closer look at Batgirl leaning against the Batmobile in the Batcave. Now let's check her out next to some of their action figures. Starting off with some of their Batgirl figures. Here she is, next to the Mattel 1966 Batgirl. This one was done with the Yvonne Craig likeness. Here she is, next to some smaller scale DC Direct Batgirl figures. We have the DC Icons Batgirl on the left, and then the Batman the Animated Series DC Direct Batgirl figures on the right. She scales up pretty close to the DC Icons Batgirl, and a little larger than the animated versions. Then, next to some Mattel DC Superhero Girls Batgirl figures. And here she is, next to yet even more Mattel Batgirl figures, DC Universe Classics, Multiverse, and Batman Missions. Here she is, next to a Yamato Batgirl. Then, with my larger DC Direct and DC Collectibles Batgirl figures, here's this McFarlane 66 Batgirl, next to all the different McFarlane DC Multiverse Batgirl figures they've made. Here she is, next to a couple of DC Direct Barbara Gordon as Oracle figures. Now, contrary to popular belief, Barbara Gordon was not the first Batgirl. Back in the early Silver Age, Betty Kane was the very first Batgirl. Here she is, next to a DC Direct Silver Age Betty Kane Batgirl. Betty Kane eventually became Flamebird in the comics. She's made a reappearance in Rebirth, and this is not her modern look or outfit. And then the second Batgirl, of course, was Barbara Gordon. She remained Batgirl until the Joker shot and crippled her in the Killing Joke. And then she became Oracle, until eventually she woke up one day, not paralyzed anymore. And then the third Batgirl, that was Cassandra Cain. She made her debut in No Man's Land. She later became the Black Bat in Batman Incorporated, and then in the Rebirth, became Orphan. I hope some company eventually gives us an Orphan figure. And then the fourth Batgirl was Stephanie Brown. And then both before and after her stint as Batgirl, Stephanie Brown was the Spoiler. Here's a custom version of Spoiler in her original attire on the left, and then a Mattel version from the Rebirth on the right. Now let's check her out. Next to some other 1966 figures. Here she is, next to the rest of her wave. Batman and Robin with the oxygen mask, and then of course Batgirl from the comic. And here she is, next to the previous wave of 66 McFarlane figures. We have Two-Face, who is the only other figure that's been from the comics so far, King Tut, and then Batman with his radioactive cowl. Rumor is the next wave is going to have Lord Deathman. He's in from the comics and was never on the show, and I'm really excited if that turns out to be true. And here, with the wave before that, Egghead, and then the black and white Riddler and Robin. Here she is, next to McFarlane's regular Batman and Robin. Finally have the three of them together. Then, next to Mattel's Batman and Robin, in case you're curious how she fits in with them, and next to Mattel's Batgirl figure one more time. Here's Batgirl, next to McFarlane's main four Bat Rogues from the TV show, Joker, Riddler, Penguin, and Catwoman. Then, next to Mattel's version of the same Bat Rogues, here she is, next to the NECA 7-inch scale Adam West Batman. Then, next to the Mattel Alum Napier Alfred. Now let's around, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how she fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you know which lines you can mix her with. Since she's a McFarlane Batman 66 figure, they're typically the 6-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the smaller action figure lines I collect, and work my way larger. Here she is, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. And here she is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. Here's Batgirl, next to a container of red cayenne pepper. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here she is, with some Mafex figures. Then, next to some Mattel, DC Universe Classics, and Multiverse figures. And here she is, next to some Mezco, 112 collected figures. And now, with some Jazzwares, AEW wrestlers. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And here she is, standing with some NECA figures. Then, with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here, with some McFarlane toys. Then, with some DST or Diamond Select toys. And finally, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures. So overall, it's a nice Batgirl figure, but it is a basic, more retro figure. 6-inch scale, but this entire line is a little bit smaller than I would like. I really think it's clever how McFarlane released this figure. They tried to do it the right way for the TV show, but just didn't work out. So they went with the next best thing from the comic. Her accessories are pretty cool. I like that they're not the action effect bubbles. Her articulation is quite limited. Sculpt and paint job are excellent. No issues there. If I were to rate this figure, first thought is a 6 out of 10, but she looks pretty good. And I'm happy to complete the trio. So I'm going to bump her up to a 6.5. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.